The Ghana cedi has long been more than a currency. It reflects the country's political shifts, economic priorities, and struggles with global market forces. From its post-independence launch to IMF interventions and recent economic shocks, the cedi's six-decade journey has been marked by instability. But what key moments have shaped its performance and the broader impact on Ghana's economy and citizens? I have more in this report. Ghana's economy has long been characterized by a volatile exchange rate, with the cedi losing approximately 99.9% of its value since the country adopted a floating exchange regime in 1983. Introduced on July 19, 1965, the cedi replaced the Ghanaian pound at 2.4 cedis to 1 pound. Initially stable and pegged to the British pound and later the US dollar, it began declining in the 1970s amid political and economic instability. A 44% devaluation in 1971 marked a long-term slide. In 1983, Ghana's IMF-backed reforms deepened depreciation. By the year 2000, $1 exceeded 7,000 cedis. The 2007 redenomination restored some confidence, but the cedi's decline soon resumed. Currency analyst Courage Boti blames the persistent weakness on fiscal discipline and import dependence, among others.
Whenever you see hyperinflation, it means or inflation soaring, it means local goods are expensive, and local investors may not have all the luxury and then the resources to even produce as much because it's costly to buy local raw materials to produce. So everybody tends to depend a lot on imports. And so long as your import bill is growing and you do not have commensurate supply of FX, you would have depreciation problems. And you can trace inflation through most of the periods of hyper or very pronounced depreciation of the cedi. It runs through all those periods, really. So inflation will lead to loss of value because it will encourage imports and discourage domestic production.
Despite optimism following oil production in 2010, the cedi fell from 1 Ghana cedi 42 pesos to nearly 6 Ghana cedis by 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the crisis. In 2022, the cedi fell to 14 Ghana cedis per dollar, prompting Ghana's 17th IMF bailout. Between 2022 and 2024, the currency depreciated an average of 20% annually, sparking inflation and labor unrest. But in a sharp turnaround, the cedi has appreciated 51% in 3 months, cutting inflation by nearly 9 points. But not everyone is cheering, as exporters and import-reliant businesses say the sharp appreciation has hurt their margins, forcing industry leaders to appeal for government intervention to curb the cedi's surge. Courage Boti points to key turning points as brief windows of strength for the currency.
Largely commodity price, favorable ones are that the redenomination. Whenever there is a semblance of improved fiscal performance, you tend to see the cedi perform also. Investor confidence in the 2007-2008 period, there was a lot of investors flowing into the local market. I remember how the local bond market became so attractive within those periods, and those portfolio investment inflows supported liquidity in the market. And periods of IMF program, and in the case of 2004, 2003, the HIPC program, all of these tend to support cedi stability.
However, analysts warn that lasting stability requires deeper structural reforms.